No phone calls, no Zoom links, no objections to battle at 11 p.m., just a random Tuesday. A consultant sitting in London, headphones in, firing off an Instagram DM, and quietly locking in a $7,500 deal without ever using their voice. Welcome to this explainer on the silent agreement. Today, we're breaking down exactly how elite players are abandoning the phone to close massive deals strictly through text.
4. That is exactly how many messages it took to close that £7,500 deal. 4 simple text messages. Not a 4-month agonizing sales cycle, not 5 back-to-back discovery calls. Just 4 messages.
47. That's the total minutes of elapsed time, from the very first ping to the payment notification hitting the bank.
But here is the crazy part. Almost all of those 47 minutes, they were defined by absolute, calculated silence.
I'm in. Send me the payment link. That's the holy grail right there. Look, if you're still leaving voicemails, you're already losing. The highest paid closers on earth are completely abandoning the phone call.
Section 1. The death of sales calls and the psychology of silence.
Just look at the reality of the landscape. Cold call answer rates have completely flatlined. They are sitting below 2%. Email opens, barely hitting 21%. But Instagram DMs, they are getting opened over 80% of the time. The prospect isn't avoiding you. They're just actively avoiding the ambush of a phone call.
Exactly. A live, unscheduled phone call feels like an attack now. For Gen Z and millennials, it literally triggers social anxiety. Texting, though, that's an invitation. It gives the modern buyer total control. They can read it, put the phone down, actually think, and reply on their own terms. And that control completely drops their resistance.
It's basically the luxury brand playbook. Think about it. Hermes isn't cold calling you. Ferrari isn't aggressively shoving you into a webinar funnel. Elite text closers use scarcity, extreme brevity, and strategic delay. If you reply instantly to a prospect, you are basically screaming that you have nothing else going on. Genuine, instant availability signals low status. Silence? Silence is the ultimate luxury.
Section 2. The 4-message framework blueprint.
This is a highly tactical architecture. 4 precise psychological levers. 1. Pattern interrupt. 2. Emotional positioning. 3. Qualification and tension. And 4. The silent close.
Every single message has one specific job. You do not improvise here, you don't mix them up. Let's break down the exact wording.
Step 1. The pattern interrupt. Your only goal is to stop their mindless scrolling. An amateur says, "Hey, loved your content, would love to chat," which is pure noise. The brain filters that right out. But an elite closer says, "That post about pricing, something isn't adding up." Boom. You stopped dead in your tracks. It's a hyper-specific anomaly. The second they reply, you shift into emotional positioning. Amateurs instantly pitch. They say, "Great, I have a 6-week program," and the deal dies instantly. Instead, you plant an emotional stake. You say, "The gap usually isn't the content, it's what happens after. Match what you see." You're making them feel deeply understood, and people buy from those who get them.
Step 3 is qualification and tension. This is where the magic happens. Instead of aggressively pushing forward, you completely pull back.
You inject doubt. You text, "Honestly, this might not be for you right now. Where are you on that?" Humans have an intense desire to be chosen. You just flip the script, and now they want to prove themselves to you.
Section 3. Inside the DM thread. Let's look at a real-world execution.
It's 9:58 a.m. The prospect just got the emotional positioning message, and they reply with this highly vulnerable admission.
Yeah, honestly, that's exactly it. We get inquiries, but they ghost or want to negotiate on price.
The hook is set perfectly. Now pay close attention to the psychological void that happens next. The prospect is staring at their phone. At 10:15 a.m., the typing indicator bubbles pop up. Then they vanish. Message unsent.
The typing bubble effect. It's intense visual tension. The closer is deliberately waiting. From 9:58 to 10:24. That is 26 deafening minutes of silence. The human brain hates a void, so it fills that space with pure anticipation.
Finally, at 10:24, the closer qualifies them, the prospect says they are ready, and boom, message 4, the silent close. Delivered with absolute ice in their veins. 1 spot left this month, 8,500 total. If this feels right, say the word and I'll send the link. No begging, no smiley faces, absolute certainty. 10:43 a.m., the close is sent. 11 a.m., the read receipt pops up.
The prospect is just sitting with it. And then begins an agonizing 38-minute wait. The closer exercises total restraint. They do absolutely nothing. They let the heavy silence do the heavy lifting. And at 11:21 a.m., let's do it. Send the link.
Section 4. The follow-up trap. Because one tiny mistake here ruins everything.
Just checking in. Those 3 words will literally slaughter your deal. They just reek of pure anxiety. The second you send that, you hand all the power and leverage right back to the buyer.
You have to follow the strict 24-hour rule. You cannot send some needy message asking if they have questions. You wait a full 24 hours. If there's still no reply, you send one final authority follow-up. Closing this out Friday. Wanted to give you the first right to the spot. It's punchy, it's non-needy, and it's final.
Section 5. The closer's mindset. The mental operating system behind all of this.
None of this works without detachment from the outcome. You have to be genuinely indifferent to any single sale. You stopped acting like a hungry salesperson and start acting like an editor. You review the fit. You can let a lead go completely cold because your pipeline is full. That lack of desperation is your greatest weapon.
Here is a massive truth bomb. When you need the sale, the prospect can feel it. When you don't, they chase you. Energy totally transfers through text. The prospect ends up buying because they trust someone who clearly doesn't need their money to survive. They buy your absolute conviction.
The future of closing isn't louder persuasion. It is controlled silence.
The medium has changed, but human psychology never does. Are you going to keep screaming for attention, or are you ready to use precision, patience, and the silent agreement?